Alrighty guys, we're back for some mono red burn, and this is a Streets of New Capenna standard build. We're going to go over the deck, then hop right into some ranked, because I do think the deck is going to be pretty decent, but we'll see, right? For anyone who may not know, I'm Red Cat, and I play aggro decks and any decks with red in them as well, so I hope that sounds fun to you. So what do we got in the build here? We have 2 Flame Blessed Bolts because that early game removal is going to be really important right now versus the meta. With all the Boros, there's a lot of Naya runes still, and killing those creatures early on before they can pop off is going to be huge. This also hits Tenacious Underdog really, really well, right? So we also have 4 Kumano faces Kakkazans because obviously, right? We have 4 Play with Fires because obviously, right? And then don't underestimate that Scry 1 when you hit the opponent's face either. That can get you there quite often, right? We have 4 Bloodthirsty Adversaries. This card is just way too good to slam down on turn 2 after the Kumano and swing on in with a 3/3 haste. But also, when you don't do that and you play it or draw it in the late game, this card is ridiculous to be able to bring some of our burn cards back. So yeah, obviously, again, right? A lot of obvious cards at the beginning here. We have 4 Flame Channelers. This is a 2-drop 2/2. When a spell you control deals damage, transform Flame Channeler. So when it transforms, it becomes Embodiment of Flame, which is a 3/3. Whenever a spell you control deals damage, put a flame counter on Embodiment of Flame. Then you can pay a mana, remove a flame counter from Embodiment of Flame, exile the top card of your library. You may play that card this turn. So that could come in handy in a lot of situations, but also that counter is modified. So a couple Kami's Flares in here, guys, and there's a ton of ways to modify our creatures where obviously Embodiment modifies itself, right? Smoldering Egg modifies itself, which is actually really, really cool, right? And of course, Kumano modifies our creatures too. Bloodthirsty Adversary modifies itself if you play it as a 5-drop, you know, all that fun stuff. Couple Kami's Flares, though, because there's not a ton of creatures in here, and so you're not always going to get that extra 2 damage through, which is really what you want to see. Either way, we needed more removal in here too, so we have 4 Roil Eruptions because it's burn, you know? You gotta hit that 3 to the face, and sometimes the kicker will come into play, but most likely it won't. 7 mana for 5 damage is a ton of mana, but you never know, right? It might get you a victory. So I already mentioned the Smoldering Eggs here. We have 4 of them. I don't know how much Smoldering Egg actually sees play anymore. I'm gonna briefly go over this. It is a 2-drop 0/4 defender, and whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, you put a number of ember counters on Smoldering Egg equal to the amount of mana spent to cast that spell. Then, if Smoldering Egg has 7 or more ember counters on it, remove them and transform Smoldering Egg. So it becomes Ashmouth Dragon, which is just an insane dragon, guys. It is a flying 4/4. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, Ashmouth Dragon deals 2 damage to any target. If this survives, it is going to end the game very fast, and the opponent is scrambling to kill a Smoldering Egg at every chance they get, right? But then we have a bunch of other spicy creatures that they're also scrambling to kill, so this is going to be an uphill battle for the opponent once the egg hits, right? So we have no 3-drops. We went ahead and skipped the 3-drops into the 4-drops here with 1 Involuntary Employment. What the heck's this card doing in here, right? It is a 4-mana sorcery. Gain control of target creature until end of turn. Untap that creature. It gains haste until end of turn. Create a treasure token. So my thought process behind this is, first of all, it really helps get the Smoldering Egg going too because it is 4 mana. The treasure token can come in handy because we have so many 1-drop cards that do something as well. But also, just like Titan of Industry, bro. Okay, how does this deck get around a Titan of Industry? I guess we just take it real quick, swing on in with our 7/7 trample Titan of Industry as well with any other creatures, right? Hopefully at that point, by stealing their biggest and chunkiest creature, we're also like unlocking the board state a little bit for a full swing. But then you also get that treasure, so maybe you slide that last bit of damage through with like a Play with Fire or something too. I don't know. I think this card's going to be a little bit better in here than it may seem. It might be a janky pick, but I hope we get to see us win a game with it today, right? So on the top end, we do have 2 burn down the house because board wipes are still important even though it hits all of our creatures. Um, it's still gonna come in play, I'm sure, right? But more importantly, when you're up against like control matchups and stuff and you don't have to burn the house down, you can bring some red devils, right? And obviously try to swing in, win the game that way, and burn down the house works really well with, of course, Invoke Calamity, which we got 3 of in here. So you may cast up to 2 instant and or sorcery spells with total mana value 6 or less from your graveyard and or hand without paying their mana cost. If those spells would be put into your graveyard, exile them instead and then exile Invoke Calamity. So, okay, so this gets insane, right? On your turn, you could do stuff like Involuntary Employment and a Roil Eruption. And you get that treasure from the employment. So you might be able to play with fire that turn too. So you might be able to just freaking close out a game really fast and really explosively, right? So is explosively a word? Either way, either way, Invoke Calamity on an employment sounds really spicy, but also like Invoke Calamity on a burn down the house could be really freaking good too, right? Especially if you're trying to wipe up the opponent's board real quick. Speaking of Titan of Industry plays, right? If they don't get that shield counter, then burn down the house does a lot because so you invoke Calamity, burn down the house, 5 damage to everything, and maybe a Flame Blessed Bolt to get that last little bit of damage off of the Titan. So yeah, I did give a lot of thought to how are we going to get around Titan of Industry right now, and there's some ways, right? So in the mana base, we are rocking the 2 Den of the Bugbear, a Crucible of Defiance, and 3 Spikefield Hazard as well, which obviously, yeah, we're going to be playing those as a land often. So 26 total potential land, including the Spikefield Hazard. So something else too, you could run more Den of the Bugbear if you want. I didn't want it slowing me down at all, so I'm only running the 2, and we'll see if that was a good decision or not, right? Let's go ahead and hop into some ranked and see how it goes. See if we can find our opponent right away. So one of the things in the test matches that I played is, one, the deck was pretty darn spicy overall. It did a lot of work. But 2, like, the opponents aren't playing creatures for some reason. Like, the test matches were weird, man. The test matches were very, very weird. Like, every single... So I double checked the meta to make sure nothing bizarre changed. Every single match was just up against like this weird deck that wasn't playing creatures, but it looked like they were supposed to be playing creatures. And it was just like, where are their creatures? Like, where... It was really weird. That's all I gotta say. So it was between Flame Channeler and Smoldering Egg there, but because we had the Play with Fire to ping face, we have huge damage right now. So we're actually gonna go Smoldering Egg, so nothing stuck. So we want to do the egg first to get all the abilities here. Ton of damage. I'm gonna send that to the bottom, even though we do have the modified. This is one of those examples of the opponent's supposed to be playing creatures, right? Like, yeah, GG opponent. You guys can see the test matches up here. 75% total win rate is kind of no joke, honestly. But a lot of those test matches were in normal play mode, so take it with a grain of salt, I guess. But so far, 100% win rate in ranked. That was fast. Let's go into the next one, right? I don't know, man. Maybe it's like today in Arena, like everyone is just getting... is just not drawing their creatures except for me. Maybe that's what's going on here. Good hands. Really good starting hands. I think we can safely keep the Spikefield Hazard. Again, no creatures from the opponent. It's so weird, guys. I don't even know. I don't even know anymore. Like, when I say, like, all those test matches, like, the opponents weren't playing creatures, I mean it. Like, I don't know. I don't know what's happening today. Okay, hey, a creature, kind of. It counts, guys. It definitely counts. Okay. So, I'm gonna go ahead. Flame Blessed Bolt on the actual one is gonna be better. I think play with fire here is fine. So yeah, Flame Blessed Bolt is better to keep for now, especially since a deck like that probably has Tenacious Underdog too, right? Swing for 5 is pretty decent. Opponent gets to reveal some of their deck to us here if they want. Nope. They decided not to. Crucible might come down as a land, but it really depends what they play. Like, if they don't have like an eye twitch or something. Wow. 4 mana to kill that on their turn, no less. So we got a mountain. Keep these open, right? We could Crucible, actually. But I don't think we do. I'm going to keep the Flame Blessed Bolt open for the Reflection of Kiki-Jiki here. And we'll see what else they end up playing. Hey, Shamble Buddy. Okay, sweet. So we'll start with the Flame Blessed Bolt to see if they... Yeah, so it is sticking here. So I am anticipating more removal. Could be a Deadly Dispute too. Alright. I'm going to attempt the Spikefield Hazard and get that Deadly Dispute out of their hand. Nope. Probably just more removal at this point, and I think we go in guns a-blazing, guys. Because now an Invoke Calamity would just be insane. We got 3 of them in the build. This gives us 2 more 1/1s next turn if we really wanted to. Invoke Despair. They're going for the card draw here. They're down to 7. That's a land, unfortunately. That kind of sucks. But we're getting there. We are getting there. Down to 1. Opponent needs a Meat Hook Massacre. Hunt for specimens. That does gain him life. This still might be a Meat Hook. Test, yep. Invoke Calamity. GG opponent. 77% win rate. Overall, 100% win rate over here in ranked so far for the video, so that's pretty sick, right? Holy cow, man. I'll tell you what. When I originally made this build, I wasn't expecting it to do so well, first of all. I didn't know what to expect, really. Seems pretty spicy, though, doesn't it? We'll see. I really want to go up against, like, creature decks to see, you know? Opponent, bring some Boros to the table. Bring some Boros to the table. I want to see how it does. This is a slower hand for sure, guys, but it is a perfectly fine hand. At least we got that turn 2 Flame Channeler, right? Okay, this could be Boros. I don't know if Boros runs the Shatter Skull, but nope. Mummy's Flare. Gonna get the land down before this gets like Jwari disrupted, right? It's a lot of damage. If it hits in, this flips. We have Flame Blessed Bolt open. Look at that, guys. That's a ton of damage. Flame Blast doesn't hit a lot in Izzet builds. Like, if it's a crab or something, then... Okay. So, we could take that. We could take that. Kami's Flare. Yeah, we'll take that right now. While we can, right? Roil Eruption. Could keep the Kami's Flare open. Yeah, we're just gonna go Roil Eruption here and swing. Technically you want to swing first, but they're tapped out, so... Do we want to look for a land off of this? I don't think so. We're fine. We're fine for now. So Kami's Flare, this is a modified creature. We have tons of potential mana in the deck, so we should be fine. Expressive Iteration, look for their land, right? Oh, we gotta be careful. Yikes. They do not need a lot of mana to make that work, so this is gonna be an Invoke Calamity on the Body of Research eventually. Yeah, they must have a land in hand to be able to play the Thundering Rebuke on the embodiment, slowing us down a ton here. Okay. No point in using that. Not like we can play a land on their turn, right? Uh-oh, guys. Uh-oh. Yeah. I mean, let's be real. It could just be an Invoke Calamity right now, and it could just be over. Because, well, we would need a chump blocker for the Body of Research. They don't have the 4th red source here. I'm tempted by the Kami's Flare. But I also really want to hit damage with that too. Okay. Okay, no land. Man, maybe I should have done that right away with the Flame Channeler to look for the land, but it's not like we would have found it, right? Would have been on top. We don't want them to invoke Calamity, then copy the Body of Research token. Wait, I think it would be a 0/0. Yeah, I'm just going to use this. It's a sorcery. We're going to use it now. The opponent's getting very low. We still have the 1 mana if it is a Juari Disruption, so... Oh, it's just going to be a straight up negate. Well, that's good because... That's good because now that negate doesn't hit like our Invoke Calamity when it comes time. Okay, yeah. So opponent has slowed us down big time here, and the game has been keeping the land in the deck for now for us, so it's looking pretty slow. It's not looking great, honestly. Hey, there's the Juari Disruption. Okay, burn down the house. There's a land. There we go. There it is, guys. Okay, so how do I want to do this? Well, well, now they have blockers for days, though. Yeah, the mana still isn't lining up for us necessarily. And to swing off the etching, it does, like, the exiles do work well with the devils, but I don't know. Yeah, they don't have the 4th red source yet. This is tough. This is a tough decision, guys. Easy blocks for the opponent. But I really want that treasure so we have Invoke Calamity regardless next turn, right? So if we grab... I think I'm going to grab the Reflection. We could copy the etching too, but nah. Doesn't do as much as we'd want it to, you know? So easy blocks for the opponent, like I said. I think they want to chump, yeah. I'm gonna say, I do think they want to chump there. So why did we do it this turn, right? 1, the etching exiles, so we don't take any damage. They don't get to, like, do any proper trades. Like, they actually had to trade everything there. Oh, but 2, we wanted to make sure we hit the 5th mana for the Invoke Calamity. It does look like the opponent's holding this open really well, huh? Couple Roil Eruptions. Doesn't get us there. I'm looking at that Involuntary Employment again with a Roil. But if it's another negate, then it's probably just over. It's probably just over if it's another negate. But if it's like a Juari Disruption, we have that treasure as an extra source here, so... Yeah, they're checking to make sure, like, what could I do? Like, the Involuntary Employment grabs the Reflection and gives us a treasure. So they go for their Invoke Calamity, which they can grab the negate from the grave. Or, better yet, grab the Body of Research so I can go ahead and grab that with my Involuntary Employment, right? Yeah, so they go ahead and negate it. That's probably a nail in the coffin, but it's not over yet, because now that is 1. Invoke Calamity out of their deck. They can search for another one with the expressive iteration, though. Uh-oh, guys, yeah. Yeah, the opponent slowed us down a ton at the beginning. We weren't seeing our land. I do think this is going to be the opponent's, but you never know. I don't think this is concede worthy just yet. We might be able to draw something. Opponent could run out of fuel. Okay. Bring the reflection back. Smart. I like it. If they tap too much down here, I'm going to attempt to swing off the Den of the Bugbear, especially if we get a mana. Off the top, we can Kami's Flare the 2/2 first. Really depends what we draw, though. Oh, Flame Channeler. Oh, crap. The question is, how much of this is actually just going to be able to hit the board, you know? Tough match. Very tough. It's really too bad that we're not getting an extra 2 damage from this, but we don't want them to get that treasure token. We don't want them to get anything, and I think flipping that now is fine rather than on their turn, because if they untap and they have like another, well, maybe we could have saved it. Maybe we could have saved that for their turn to flip that. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Maybe I got too hasty there. Because, yeah, they already had a ton of mana open. Ooh. Oh, opponent has a lot of stuff available, guys. Eee. There's a lot to be said about big score. Big score in this deck could work as well, right? And that's one of those things like, would big score be better than the involuntary employment, right? Maybe. It really depends. Opponents have been playing weird decks for me recently, and I added the involuntary employment because of how many like big creature decks we've been up against. So I'm pretty sure they just eat this to our face. And I'm pretty sure we're dead. Right, Kazul's Fury, like they had, yeah, GG opponent. That was spicy. They really locked us down there. 70% total win rate. We got 2 wins and 1 loss in the video so far, and we got plenty of time for some more matches. And plenty of time to talk more about the build too, right? Like, we definitely want to think about the unexpected windfall / big score option for this build, because the dragon egg, right, would love to have that big score in the deck, because not only does it plug a bunch of counters into the egg, but also it gives you those 2 treasure open to play more as well, and then you're drawing more of your burn too, so there's something to be said about that for sure. I think big score off of an Invoke Calamity is really good too. But I built the deck to fight creature builds, and we just haven't been seeing it here. A good hand, man. You like to see Kumano, let me tell you. Hey, a creature! We don't have any removal for it, but... Oh, no. Hey, there we go. There it is. We can't... unfortunately, we won't get the counter, but that was a very good draw. That's really funny, actually. My goodness. This doesn't look like it's going to be a creature build either, though, so... Another Kumano. Yeah, 3 Kumanos is pretty good, actually. Even though there's not a lot of creatures to lead into it in our hand currently, there's like... I don't know, it's really nice. This is definitely removal, right? I mean, yeah, I gotta try it. There's no way I'm not trying this here. There's no way, because if we can get this through, we get the other Kumano. Yeah, we got the Vanishing Verse out of the opponent's hand. Kumano. You're gonna have some etchings flying in here soon, opponent, so get your meat hook ready. The other Valky. Okay. Good trade, I guess, for the etching. Humiliate. No, my soul. Oh my goodness, now we're seeing land, huh? Oh my. Oh no. That's a swing, man. That's a swing. You sure it trades, but like that's a swing. Like we're out, man. We're out of cards. We're only seeing land. Well, we'll see. Oh, Invoke Calamity off the top. There it is. Invoke Calamity doesn't hit much right now, and I am terrified of another Humiliate. The target opponent reveals. Yeah, this is a scary deck to go up against. Crap. Yeah. I don't know, guys. I don't know. We need to draw more. Yeah, you know, the more I think about it, the more that big score. Oh, Meat Hook, why? Why do you exist, Meat Hook? Get out of here. No. Oh, man. Well, I'm fine. You guys fine? I'm totally fine. Everything's fine. Yeah, that's what we're looking for off the top, guys. We're looking for more of that burn. Lolth. Get out of here, Lolth. Oh no, guys. Opponent's rocking a very powerful deck. The good news is Flame Blessed Bolt hits it. And Roil Eruption's probably just going to hit their face because we're getting close, man. We're getting close. Kill the Lolth. Roil Eruption. Face. Come on, guys. We can get there. We can do this, guys. The two from the Meat Hook was pretty devastating. Vanishing Verse was really bad for us. Everything about the opponent's deck has been really bad for us right now. Swing for 5. Elspeth is huge there. Oh, another land, guys. Oh, no. Yeah, no. It looks like it's going to be the opponent's here. A -3 on the Elspeth would be not what the opponent's doing there. Okay, well, it's still 6 damage on the ground, so... They're looking for some angels next turn, maybe? I don't know what we could possibly grab here to save us. Burn down the house. Oh my goodness. Yeah, the lifelink has to go. What is that last card in the opponent's hand? Like a... I don't even know. Yeah, lifelink has to go. We're down to 7. We have Invoke Calamity to bring back the burn down the house. That was a really good draw for us, guys. Oh man, never ever underestimate Elspeth Resplendent. Lifelink. What did they give to it? First strike. Okay. Den of the Bugbear. It's got to be that other Invoke, guys. We got to do 5 damage to everything here. We got to get rid of that Elspeth. It's a shame, but like, we're barely holding on. Barely holding on. I definitely have some final thoughts. Definitely stick around for the final thoughts on this one, guys. It's gonna be brief, but yeah, there's a few things. I played a lot of games with this deck, and there's definitely themes that keep coming up. And one of those themes is we run out of cards. Even though, like, yeah, Invoke Calamity. Okay, that's good. Let's get that Scry before we send Den. Or we could hit the... Alright. We'll save the Play with Fire and potentially hit the Reflection here. Okay, Dead of the Bugbear goes and gets exiled. Geez, guys. Yeah, I think this might be the opponent. Oh! Oh, no! Oh, just when you think it couldn't get any worse. I think we're gonna scry off the Play with Fire. Yeah, we could hit the Samurai, but yeah, like, no. Like, what's that gonna do, right? Save us an extra turn. We got a scry here for sure. Like, right now would be the time to do it. Yeah, no, I'm just gonna take it. It's fine, guys. This is definitely leaning. towards the opponent, and we need to scry. We need to see. We need to get the land off the top of our deck. We need to see what's happening here. Yeah, land on the top. Yeah, hey, like I said, right? Another land. Drop the GG for the opponent, because that was an uphill battle right out of the get-go. The opponent's deck was really, really good, and this Mardu style control, as you guys know, it's one of my favorites too. I just recently did a video on it, but I really like the Humiliate in the opponent's build, and I forget if I ran Elspeth right now, but it didn't exactly look like this. But yeah, like Mardu style control is very powerful because it rocks that Orzhov style, but then it has that red mixed in for like reflection and everything. It's super spicy, man. All right, we definitely have time for more, so let's do it. I'm starting to wish I would have recorded some of those test matches, but that's fine. They were pretty bland, all in all. Like, even though I got a bunch of wins, there like wasn't a lot going on. Good hand. Great hand, actually. We get to see the, well, don't know what the opponent's running. I'm going to play this out while I can as Spikefield Cave. How do you guys feel about that play? I think that's going to come in handy as a land this game. Invoke Calamity. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get Smoldering Egg down, which I was hoping would do a lot more today. Hopefully we get to see it do a lot more in this match here. So no creatures. Could keep both of these open for their turn. Or swing in and keep the Flame Blessed Bolt open. I think I'm going to swing in, guys. There's no guarantee that the opponent's even playing creatures. With the matches that I've been up against, there's just no guarantee, so we'll see. Definitely need more land off the top of the deck, though. With 26 potential, we got flooded out last time. Innkeeper. We're gonna wait. There might be a better 2-drop that we want to hit with this Flame Blessed Bolt, even if they do gain a life here. Okay, yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and hit the Innkeeper. They do get a 1/1, but we could always Kami's Flare too. That's gonna hit 2 to their face and do a couple other things as well. They might just chump block too, which I think is fine because we can keep the Kami's Flare open for their turn if they drop like another Innkeeper. That could be huge. I think the chump here is fine. It was either that or 4 damage this turn, and I think keeping this open to kill like another Innkeeper or anything else is going to be a little bit better. Okay. We'll see. This could go either way. Like, for sure. This could go either way. So far. Briefcase. Okie dokies. I'd love to see some land off the top. Okay, so I'm gonna Kami's Flare here. Even though, yeah, there's a few things we could draw. I think I like this. Kami's Flare. Okay, we did get that 4th land, but now there's not much we can do on this turn. Now we need a 5th land, right? So, okay. They have 3 open mana with the Briefcase. 5 mana here now. Ooh, that comes out tapped. Still 5 mana, though. Ton of stuff could come down. 5th land off the top would be huge for us. Reservoir Kraken. Okay, tap it down so we can get some better swings. Sure. They get a 1/1, but like I think it's better. They could still double block though. Okay, we didn't see the land. that would have been really, really good, right? Just absolutely rip apart their board and get the Ashmouth Dragon swinging in. But it is what it is, and I think this is still a full swing here. Probably block. I would be shocked of a double block here. They want to take... Okay, they want to get rid of the etching. We get 2 through. We're going to definitely play the Kumano. Yeah, the mana's been weird, hasn't it? The mana's been a little bit weird in this build, and I think it's because we don't have any 3-drops too. Like, we don't curve out properly. Even though, like, you'd think it would end up working out. They want to hit Smoldering Egg here for sure. For sure. They don't know what's in our hand, though. But that Smoldering Egg could just end up wrapping up the game. Okay, well, let's see it, right? Invoke Calamity. Let's go with Kami's Flare, right? Or Flame Blessed. Either one. Let's go Flame Blessed, so that way we can hit you. And then burn down the house for 3 devils. They still have 2 open mana, so we're playing this all out, right? It doesn't look like it's sticking, like, at all, though. Well, GG. Yeah, even if we didn't get the Ashmouth Dragon, we would have had a ton of damage there. I think that the opponent would have had one more turn, though. I'm not going to math that out right now. We got 5 matches in on this video with a 66 total % win rate in the deck with... It shows 10 matches up here, but I think I played 11 matches total. We're actually going to wrap it up there. 5 matches is pretty good, and I'm going to ramble about the deck for like 4 minutes probably, so... Excuse me. Yeah, no, I said it was going to be brief, but I played a lot of games with this, and so like I have a lot to say here. This deck's pretty spicy. It does way more than you'd think. I think Smoldering Egg is criminally underplayed. Just because the opponents are playing so much removal right now doesn't mean you shouldn't play these great creatures that have huge targets on their back. Yeah, they have targets on their back, but if you play other creatures that are a little bit worse or have like smaller targets, I don't know. I don't get it, right? Like, yeah, Smoldering Egg dies to a lot, and it gets exiled a lot, and the opponent prioritized killing it, but it's just so dang spicy. Like, why don't we see it anymore, right? As soon as it flips to Ashmouth Dragon, it's just like, you just rip the opponent apart, and then, like, it pairs with Invoke Calamity way too well, right? Another card, yeah, the Flame Channeler is, like, one of those cards where... like, the opponent doesn't prioritize removing this as much. They kind of think to themselves, like, oh, there's probably better cards to hit in their deck. In reality, Flame Channeler just does a ton of damage very fast. What I would have loved to see is actually go up against those other meta builds that I don't know what happened to all of them, guys. Where are they? Are they all in Diamond and Mythic at this point? Like, where is the Boros? Where's the Naya? Where are the decks that I kind of built this to go against? Where are the Titan of Industries? The reason I added Involuntary Employment was as kind of a counter to the Titan of Industry to help us squeeze that last bit of damage through to the opponent with their own Titan and stuff, right? I don't know. The meta's been weird, and like I was saying in those test matches, like, no one was playing creatures. Like, where are all the creatures, right? And then the few creatures that we do see are usually just like the Fable of the Mirror Breaker slash the token from that and the reflection as well. So it's like, wow, it's really weird, right? Like, in that last match, the opponent was finally playing creatures, and so that was kind of like that was a good example of what our deck can do to kind of rip apart those creatures, like being able to get rid of the Innkeeper there to make sure they didn't gain any life and stuff. That was pretty huge for us. The Flame Blessed Bolt came in handy a few times, didn't it? Few other things with the deck, guys. we run out of steam really fast. Even with Invoke Calamity, you would think like, oh, you don't really run out of steam fast, but yeah, you do. You totally do. You run out and then you're kind of stuck top decking, and you're like, uh-oh. Well, there's a lot of great stuff to top deck. You got to think to yourself, am I going to be that lucky today? And yeah, sometimes you get there, sometimes you don't though. So what would I do to fix that? First off, if you're not seeing Titan of Industry or other creature builds like I did today, you can drop the Involuntary Employment and go up a big score, or an Unexpected Windfall would work too, right? I would also, like, there are 26 total potential land, but like we struggled to see it sometimes, and then also we saw it way too much when we didn't want to. I guess that's just how Magic is sometimes, but there might be a better way to put the mana base together. I don't know if it would be as easy as go down a Spikefield Hazard, go up a Den of the Bugbear or something, so that way you have like 24 regular land and then the 2 Spikefield Hazards. Maybe the game will treat that a little bit differently, and you might draw land a little bit differently at that point too, right? Anything else, guys? Yeah, the Bloodthirsty Adversary, you could probably, this sounds weird. No. Never mind. Because you're rocking Kumano, you do want your 2-drop creatures, right? I don't know what I would change, because overall the deck did really good. The deck did really good overall. So I guess, yeah, if you're not seeing as many creatures, drop the Involuntary Employment, go up a big score, drop a Kumano. They're really good, but there's not that many creatures, so you don't get to utilize the second ability as often as I thought we would be able to utilize it. So I think 3 Kumano is completely fine. So drop this, drop the Kumano, go up 2 big scores for some card draw. Kami's Flare I thought was going to be way better too, but yeah, it requires you having a creature on the board, and that creature has to be modified. I would drop this down to 1, guys. Maybe even go up to the 3 big score / Unexpected Windfall, whichever one you want would work in here. And then that will help you refill your hand. I think the 1 Kami's Flare is still going to be good enough, by the way, so that's something important to think about. Yeah, guys, what would you guys change? I think that sounds reasonable, though. Go down to 3 Kumanos, drop the Involuntary Employment, drop down to 1 Kami's Flare, go up 3 big scores. And I think that would be pretty spicy, actually. But who knows? It might ruin the win rate, because overall we did pretty darn good today. So I don't know. Either way, if you made it this far into the video, y'all are champions, and I super duper appreciate you. And I will see you in the next video.